virtual reality has been around for quite some time now. In that time, we have seen advancements, upgrades, improved realism.
Cause you're the moron.
Moron.
Oh, what?
Realism.
You see, hide my username. You can have it. You can.
Yeah, virtual reality has been around for a minute now, and it still kind of sucks. Let's not beat around the bush here. I'll save you the history lesson, but the first real VR headset that most people know/knew about was the HTC Vive from 2016, which is the headset I have now. And if you're connecting the dots on my first point, I have had almost zero reason to actually upgrade my headset, and it's been 8 years. Like, I know progress takes time, but damn! Hey, not having a wire attached to your headset and a headset that tracks you from the inside out and doesn't need the little base station things like right there is great, but is it worth it? But I'm not here to talk about hardware. The only thing that should be hard is me playing the games in VR. Later, gang! Look here, we got a wide selection of... Oh. Yeah, VR games have a long history of being dog shit. I really do wish I was exaggerating when I say this, but out of all of my VR games I own on Steam, there are literally 3 of them worth coming back to. Technically 4, but shut up, 3's a good number. Every other game is worth maybe a few hours of your time and nothing more. You ever hear that phrase, just a tech demo? Yeah, I feel like a lot of these smaller VR games try to use that novelty of, whoa, we're in virtual reality to try and justify the fact that their game is, dog shit.
What is this fucking Black Ops 3 victory post shit?
But what makes these 4 games different from everything else released for VR? You guessed it, or maybe you didn't, I don't know. Physics. Sounds boring, right? Yeah, let me put it in terms that are fun. In these games, you can't pick up your enemies by the leg and swing them around like a ceiling fan. In these games, you can. Disclaimer, I don't even really like Half-Life Alyx, despite it being like the most popular VR game ever made. Man, does this dude like anything? It felt pretty fucking limiting to me, not gonna lie. Like, I couldn't use my own creative imagination to solve things how I wanted to, but it's still a good game. But Bone Lab and Blade and Sorcery? Shit! This is why VR exists, baby. I can fucking feel the fucking good games, very good games. Unlike those baby games from before where the world feels fake, these worlds have their own laws of physics and rules that apply to them. In Blade and Sorcery, you're a medieval gladiator. Hence why, with just a little bit of elbow grease, you're able to do this! A better way to show off my point is the game I mentioned earlier called Bone Lab, which lets you switch bodies for different strengths and speeds, and are you bored? Fuck you. The games feel like they have a world built around them that you experience rather than jumping inside of a Scratch game. And the point of this video is that these games need to fucking stop. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you're not gonna bother adding physics to your VR game, consider not adding it to... Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit harsh. Maybe we should rewrite that part. I'm saying don't underestimate physics and player freedom in VR. It will make or break your game being a kind of shitty tech demo that people play maybe 3 times versus an actual fat VR game, at least in my eyes. So many games feel like they're catered for people who have never played VR, but once you've played VR, there's almost nothing. Some of these tech demos are better than others, obviously, but they're still not really worth $400 to play. Just look at my fucking playtime and you can see which games are worth and not worth playing. Listen, if even part of you is thinking about getting a VR headset, as someone who has over 2,000 hours in VR, you better really want that fucking headset. Also, be sure to pick the right headset, and I'll let you in on a little secret. The Oculus Quest 2, not 3, 2 is probably still the best headset in early 2024, so this shit is for enthusiasts only, but it's cool to look at and it's cool to talk about. Almost every single one of my friends owns VR, and in the last 3 years, I legitimately don't remember us loading it up even a single time to play a multiplayer game together. Unless it was for poker. Poker is hype.
Oh! The 3 Kings! You ever watch that show on Disney? Suck my dick and balls.
VR has to do 3 things. It has to be lighter, cheaper, and have some meatier games. Not saying that that's easy. I'm just saying that's what needs to happen before you can even think about getting a headset. Let me know what your experience with VR has been. Maybe you own a headset yourself. Maybe you've played it once at a friend's house and went, that's pretty cool. How much did that headset run you, by the way? Oh, okay, you can keep it. Or maybe you just can't stand how motion sickening it is. I get it. We be doing some crazy shit in VR sometimes. Now subscribe to this channel before I virtually fuck ya. Not gonna lie though, the is not half bad.